Hello, friends. This is Sundareshan, your compliance guru. Well, we are almost in the concluding part of our this series, which is I am a director. And what you would like to know most is there a liability for a director? Of course, of course. In fact, the previous video we had discussed on remuneration. So remuneration is never in commensurate with the liabilities of a director. It can never be because today the compliance process has increased so much that it is not easy for a director to keep track of all the compliances. In fact, there is one provision in the Companies Act which says the directors are responsible for the process to ensure that all applicable laws to the company are complied. It's humanly impossible with close to 30,000 plus legislations in the country, and for a simple IT company, almost 40 to 50 legislations that are applicable. How is it possible for a director to really keep track of compliance? But for every non-compliance of provisions, be it the Companies Act, Income Tax Act, or for that matter, labor law related issues, for everything, the finger pointing is only to a director, and the director is the only person who is responsible for compliance of all these provisions. Now, is it not a little too much to ask? Of course, of course. But do you have a choice? Because when you become a director, it is by choice. It is by choice that you incorporate a company. It is by choice that you become a director. It is by choice that you join a company as a managing director. It is by choice that you become an independent director of a company. So, having said that, how do you expect the laws not to bind you or make you responsible for any of the liabilities? But wait, for everything there should be a solution, right? I mean, it is not like there is a problem on hand without a solution. So, let me reiterate the compliance functions right from payment of a TDS to filing forms, to ensuring that employees' salaries are paid, to remittance of the provident fund. The primary responsibility is that of the board. But then why do companies have so many people called the senior management, middle management? I mean, the lineup goes so. They are also equally responsible. There are three important characters in the game of liability. The first one, they are called the officers, which is the management team. The second is called officer in default, which is specifically naming somebody who will be owning up the responsibility for a particular task and they will be liable. The third, of course, which is generic, is called the key managerial personnel. Key managerial personnel means all those important people who are running the company, and they form the first line of management, the board and its team. For your easy understanding, KMP is the board and its team. Officer is the senior management team. Officer in default, people who are responsible for compliance issues. Having understood this, now we need to figure out and see each of these categories. Who is an officer? Who is an officer in default? Who is a key managerial personnel? The most interesting question which will come up is, tell me, as an independent director or as a non executive director, we are not in charge of running the company. In spite of that, are we liable for anything that is going to go wrong when we are part of the process that actually makes the company functional? Very interesting question. There is a separate section. I love to speak on that, which is 149 subsection 12, which says an independent director or a non-executive director may not be liable subject to. Now that subject to is something that we need to analyze in depth, the details of what are all the issues that ensure that an independent director or a non-executive director does not land into trouble. Friends, keep watching, keep questioning, stay compliant, stay safe. See you soon.